the Caitlin Clark and the Sophie Cunningham thing. Uh, people talk about what's the interest. Well, there is a ton of public interest in Caitlin Clark and the WNBA right now. And why? Well, because it has it all. It really does. It has, first of all, that's one of the reasons why we love talking about dynasties, because it's elite, right? Elite. We love elite level things. We love watching people perform and do things that no one else can do. That is why, and we've talked about it on this show, players, actors, certain types of professions are able to command such a high cost of living, or excuse me, are able to demand so much money, right, that contributes to their high cost of living and lavish lifestyle sometimes, because they can do something that nobody else can do. So Caitlin Clark can do that, right? There's also infighting within the league. Is Caitlin Clark getting respect? Is she not getting respect? There's a lot of voices now, and some of it can get really ugly. At some point this week, I may read some of the messages that we have gotten on the heels of our Caitlin Clark talk, and it's been pretty crazy. I mean, I love the attention. I love the people are watching. I love the passion. Please, bring it on. Light me up if you want. Just keep watching. It's a lot of fun if you keep watching for everybody. But there's so much drama and interest in this situation. So the public is interested in it. I am genuinely interested. You know, the Fever play the Storm tonight. I will be watching that game, okay? And it reminds me almost, because the WNBA is somewhat under the radar. When I was really young, UNLV was making a run. They were playing on the West Coast. I forget what conference they were in. It was the year they lost to Duke in the semis. But it's not like they were on national TV every night. But if you did a little bit of looking, you could find them, or you could get the score, or you could see the highlights, because it wasn't like the Stone Age. We'd moved into the 90s. But every morning it was like, what did UNLV do last night? What did Jerry Tarkanian and his boys do last night? You know, they were so prolific, so exciting. Now, the Fever have not been as dominant this year, but they are literally a traveling circus, right? In the best of ways. And Sophie Cunningham, a big part of that. And the traveling show rolls into Seattle tonight. And they have lost 2 straight, by the way. Caitlin Clark struggling, 1 of 17. But the Caitlin Clark effect, and the effect, or the impact, I should say, that Sophie Cunningham sticking up for Caitlin Clark, it has affected Sophie Cunningham financially to the nth degree over the past 7 days. Look no further than, Dave Portnoy has a great interest in the WNBA, and he loves Caitlin Clark, and he feels, he's got some seriously sharp opinions as to why the officiating in the WNBA needs to improve, why Angel Reese is a nobody, right? And Caitlin Clark is such a superstar. Yesterday, Joy Taylor went out and said that the only reason that people really know about Caitlin Clark, to the degree that they do, is because of the viral moment she had in college with Angel Reese. Now, that's 100% false, in my opinion. It is in Dave Portnoy's opinion as well. He was talking about that and the fact that Caitlin Clark, deserves more respect from the officials. But, along this ride, you see Sophie Cunningham last week get into that tussle. She's now, all of her jerseys, you cannot get a Sophie Cunningham jersey at the Indiana Fever team store online or in person until July 8th, I read. Okay. Portnoy made those T-shirts, Barstool did, about the 3 girls right now. I forget the other one's name. Do you know the other one's name? Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark. I'll look up the other ones here in a second. But it's an exciting time, right? And so when you see what Caitlin Clark is doing for the WNBA, in general, financially, for TV ratings, Sophie Cunningham, and this is a Sportico, it's a sports marketing company, has reported that over the past week, Sophie Cunningham has has the expansion of her brand, okay? Her Instagram followers, plus 245,000, right? So now she has 750,000 followers on Instagram. TikTok, plus 700,000 followers, right? Since this incident. So now she has 1,000,000 followers. The growth of her brand, when you look at just those numbers, right, and social media, this is as reported by the sports marketing company, is valued at around $1 million. Now or evaluated, I should say. $1 million, like that growth is worth $1 million. That is being in Caitlin Clark's orbit and just being yourself if you're Sophie Cunningham. She didn't go fishing. She has been like below the radar. She's playing her game as a member of the Indiana Fever and doing what most basketball players consider second nature, right? Sticking up for your teammates when the going gets tough. And it's weird, right? Like they say, like karma comes around. Well, this is the best kind of karma. It's the Caitlin Clark karma.